Hello and welcome to the first day of the Mile High Shufflers and Shuffle Curious January challenge. Like I said, today is day one, January 1st of the challenge. So today we will be going over small running man. And you might be thinking that, a running man is a running man is a running man. But with this challenge, we would like to go ahead and start soft, start gentle, and then work our way up. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is the small running man. We would like to start this, become proficient at it before we start moving on to the power running man. And so I would just like to go over the basic steps of the running man for those who don't know, and some of the nuances within for some of the individuals who are familiar with the running man and can do it pretty seamlessly. So starting off, I would just like to demonstrate the move really quick. Okay, so obviously we do know that the running man is essential to shuffling, and so it's a fundamental move that we want to pay close attention to. So the first line of order is just going over that basic movement. So we want to, while we're performing our running man, and I'll go to the side just to give a better view of all of this, but we'd like to stay upright. We'd like our center of gravity to be centered the whole entire time. And what I mean by that is we don't want to feel like we're leaning forward. We don't want to feel like we're leaning back. Even when we're in our triangle position or our split stance, we don't want to feel like we're going forward, back, to the side. We want to be upright the whole entire time. And so there's really going to be two parts to this. There's going to be a perch position that we are in, and then there's going to be that split stance position that we're in. And we're going to be repeating that on each leg. How we get into the running man, we're going to start in our perch initially, and then we are going to drop the leg that is up on the ground that is not weight bearing to the floor here. And then at the same time, we're going to slide the leg that is weight bearing towards the back in this position here. Okay, so it's going to be here, and then there's going to be that slide as well. And when we do it at the same time, it's going to look like this. Once we get into this position, we are going to have our feet spread, such as this. But just remember, when you're in this position as well, we're going to keep that weight centered. Don't feel like you're leaning forward or back, but you're going to go ahead while you are sliding this leg back, your front leg, or now your front leg, you're then going to bring your other leg up into this position and back into the perch rather. So front leg from the split stance slides back, and then your back leg from the split stance comes up with your knee. Okay, so the final position will be here, and then you just repeat on both legs. So you're going to come here, and you're back into that perch position. So you know that since this leg is non-weight bearing, it's going to fall right in front of you, and then the leg that is weight bearing is going to slide to the back. Another way to think of this is each leg is going to have two slides. It's going to be 1, 2, okay? And then the way that you recycle that leg is by bringing it back up. So it'll be 1, 2, up, 1, 2, and then back up. So the small running man can give a lot of us veteran shufflers, or the ones who are more experienced with the movement, an opportunity to really pause and kind of reflect as to how we're moving. So I think the small running man gives us an opportunity to really look at our micro bounces and how far we're actually bopping up and down to be able to perform that movement. So when we're doing the small running man, if we're bopping, up to the sky, and we're really pushing up to perform the movement, try to lower your micro bounce just a little bit. Only micro bounce enough where you can perform the movement, but no more. And also a litmus test for this is how much do you feel your head going up and down? Maybe look at something in your environment, and if you see it bobbing up and down like that, maybe the micro bounce on your running man isn't as smooth as it could be. So what I want more of the veteran shufflers, or the individuals who are proficient with the running man, what I want you guys to do is to try and isolate your head while you're doing that micro bounce. So if you're here, try and have your head in a fixed position. Really bend your knees and perform that small running man like that. So just look at the difference. one can be seen as smoother than the other, but just play with your micro bounce and see if less is better. So a variation of the small running man that I want to show you guys, I call it the high running man. That's just a terminology that I use for myself personally. It's kind of a mantra that I use when I'm doing this, because it just reminds me to be very upright and kind of have my weight back. But with that, you're gonna have, I know that I said in the beginning to kind of keep your center of gravity centered, of course, but on this one, I want you guys leaning back just ever so slightly and kind of maybe bringing your shoulders back as well, and then putting your chest out. But instead of dropping your feet, you're going to be doing that with your upper body, and then instead of dropping your feet to the ground like so, you're more going to be just stabbing at the ground. And I think this looks really neat with a more of a cross step. So you're kind of going to be going here with each stab of your front foot during your running man. So a demonstration. Okay, so you're being very gentle with your taps, or excuse me, the placement of your feet. And I'm not lifting my feet up off the ground very far. I'm kind of keeping them low to the ground, and that's allowing me to kind of get those quick stabs on the ground and also to cross step more effectively, because I'm just, the distance that I'm covering from getting my leg up to putting it back on the ground is less. Therefore, I can kind of cross a little bit quicker and a little bit more effectively. So with that, that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions or any comments, feedback, please throw them in the comments. But other than that, I will be back with you guys tomorrow. We'll be going over traveling with your running man, and then also arm flow that you can add to your running man as well. So good luck with the rest of the challenge. Great job for tuning in for day one. Hope to see you in day two.